8 or 9 o'clock p.m. on June 22nd. I left our house with the dog to start on my walk. I walked up north on Bonavista till I got to Reese. I turned right on Reese, which would take me east on Reese, and I went up Reese till I got across up to Paris. At that time, I saw a dog heading towards me with some people. It appeared that the dog was off the leash, so I didn't want to confront the dog or with my dog, so I turned around and started walking the opposite direction. When I did, I heard a shout from Emmett's house, which is opposite the T-bone, where Paris T-bones into Reese, and there was a bunch of people sitting out on the lawn there, that near as I could see in the dark, and a shout was something to do with did you bring your shovel or something like that, and it was, I didn't answer, but it was stated again, so I held my hand up in the air and said, yeah, I got my shovel. And some more was said, and I told whoever was doing the talking to not worry about it, that I wasn't too interested in what he had to say, and just leave me alone. And I went partway down the street, and there was shouts of something else. I don't know what was said, but I could still hear shouting. Till I got to the corner again of Reese and Bonavista. I turned right there on Bonavista and again resumed heading north. At that time, I heard even more shouts as we went around the corner. And I went down Bonavista to the end, about 2 blocks down there, till it hits a street that I don't know the name of the street, but it comes to an end right down there. And I went down there, turned around, and started back. I got halfway back, halfway back, which would mean I had walked a block, and there was a block to go to reach the corner of Reese and Bonavista. And I saw this guy coming around the corner there. And he walked in an angle towards me, and I was on the right-hand side of the street. And when he reached me, his statement was that you flipped me off. I told him I didn't flip him off, and he continued to pursue this unrelentingly. He continued to say I flipped him off. I continued to say I didn't flip him off, and he didn't like it. He wouldn't get out of the way. I asked him to leave me alone, get out of the way, and he wouldn't. He just kept standing in front of me and impeding my path. I couldn't seem to walk around him, so we exchanged some niceties, and I tried to walk away, and when I did, well, he grabbed me by the throat, and his hand went up on the throat with maybe his palm resting against my chest and his fingers around my neck. And when he did that, I sprayed him with pepper spray, and he immediately withdrew, and there was some girl or woman out there shouting. I don't know who she was or was, but anyway, I went the rest of my way home and my wife was out watering the front lawn, and I handed her the dog, and at that time there was some guy running down the street, and he had a cell phone. He was calling the police, which is what I was going to do when I walked in the house without the dog. But anyway, he said that he told the police there's some old guy down here spraying everybody with pepper spray, and in a voice something similar to that. So that was the end of the event, with only one thing here, that a little later on, their children of the guy who grabbed me by the throat, I did recognize him then as the guy who lived in the corner house, the house on the corner of Reese and Bonavista. That would be his address is a Reese address, and it would be the northwest corner of Reese and Bonavista. and his kids kept coming down and taunting us and everything. So I called the police, and the police came and talked to them, but didn't come back and talk to me again. So that was the end of it. Here's some observations and things that occurred that I would like to relate. If this guy was trying to tell me if he was the same one doing the shouting all the time, something, why didn't he just simply come up to me and to tell me he didn't want my dog on his yard? Instead of doing it from afar, anonymously, protection of a group, why did he do that? He would have saved a lot of problems if he had just simply said it to me, because I would have immediately observed what he had asked me. Why didn't he say anything to other dogs? I was near enough to hear him if he was going to shout at the other dog, but Walker at that night, but he didn't. And other people walk their dogs up and down these streets all the time. I've watched out there, and I've never seen him say anything to anybody. He just simply wanted to say it to me. I wonder why. And I don't know who this bigot was who came running down there, if he was part of the group in there too, on his cell phone. His little bigotry makes me wonder what all this whole thing is about. That I don't think it's all based on bigotry, but I think it is all based on harassing some old guy that walks his dog at night. I've been walking my dogs for at least 15 years since I retired. I worked a night shift previous to that, but I walk them ever since. I've exercised myself ever since I've heard of the word aerobics, and I've either walked day or night, but of course at night it's nicer, the air is cooler, and I try to walk as fast as I can, and it is a bit of an exercise, so it's a nicer time to do it. I take the dog because it's just nice to have the dog with me. He doesn't do nothing. He is spot trained. He has never defecated on one single person's property, nor the dogs previous to that. Have they ever done anything like that? They may have urinated on a pole or something next to him, but if they don't want that, okay, I won't do that. But that's the first training I give a dog. When I house train him, he's house trained at the same time he's given spot training, which means that he goes to the bathroom the same place every day, and he does. Now, approximately a week later, I started walking down the middle of the street. I walk down. I don't walk in those areas before. I walk north on Monte Vista to Reese. I walk west on Reese down to Ceres. I walk a direction down Ceres by the school and return. I walk in the middle of the street till cars come, and I never allow my dog to get to anybody's, even to the curb. So my dog is not in any way bothering anybody, and I'm not bothering anybody. My dog is leashed. He has 2 chokers on him because he pulls hard, and I worry about him getting loose. But I'm bothered by other people's animals who are out at night and not leashed. I have to put up with this kind of crap, but it seems to be a problem that I simply walk up and down the street, and these guys find it necessary to harass me with that same kind of attitude. So the deputies came down and talked to me after they responded to their call up there, and he said that the guy admitted that he did grab me by the throat, and that he was sorry for it. But that's only, the rest of it was that I had the deputy said I had a right to walk my dog, and I hadn't done anything wrong, and I had used the pepper spray in a proper manner. So I hope they made a report. They took some information, but I don't know if it was or not. But that's the full story as and observations as I remember.